Kansas
I love Sister
have
Jean
done
for what it's
differently,
worth.
Stephen A. What could Kansas have done differently against Villanova? Because a lot of people thought that they were going to win it.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Right.
Villanova was hitting shots from everywhere. Listen, DiVincenzo comes off the bench and drops 15. That brother can play. He can play. I ain't bringing Brunson and Bridges and Booth and Pascal was just all over the place. I'm like, Lord have mercy. We even get to Spellman. Villanova's top 6. They're loaded. They're loaded. And this is the thing about it. They literally can put 4 guys on the court at the time, if not 5. All 3-point threats. So Kansas, I felt bad for them because, listen, before they had a chance to pass gas, it was over.
Yeah.
It was over. Just like that.
Wire to wire.
But
Do you always have to use the pass gas
well, it's the truth. It's just the truth. It's
just
just
a
the
lot
truth.
for me.
You get a lot of siblings, you know, so.
Oh my
Stephen A.
sisters.
This whole thing starts off with matchups, right? And I will say this about Villanova. They're like the Golden State Warriors of college basketball. When you have Omari Spellman made the first 4 threes of the ball game. You know why? Because regardless of whatever Kansas did, their personnel didn't match up. Udoka Azubuike is he's a big-time low-post threat. Right now, there were a lot of storylines going into the tournament about his mom coming back from Nigeria. First time they're going to get a chance to watch him play in 6 years. All those storylines were tremendous. But what's a natural place that a big guy reverts back to every time he's running down the court in transition? Think about it, from the day you're a young kid, when you teach young post threats. Hey, big guys, you got to come back. You got to protect the rim.
That's right.
Protect the rim. Well, in the new age of college basketball, with the collegiate version of the Golden State Warriors, you have a guy named Omari Spellman who came out and made the first 3 threes of the game, first 4 threes of the game. So that opens up the defense. And when they start making shots like that, man, I mean, a record-setting 11 threes in the first half, it didn't matter what KU did. They couldn't stay with that.
Jay, to me, the key to knowing that Nova was going to win this game, and I would just hate to have to play Nova, coach a team to have to play Nova right now, job that Jay Wright's done. It was the Texas Tech game. You know, on a night where no shots were falling, they had to kind of change their style, crash the boards, and still won a game like that. How do you beat this team right now? I referenced earlier on the jump this morning, they were asking in a hot take machine, you know, could this be one of the all-time great teams? And while on paper you don't say yes, the environment that exists now with all these one-and-dones, if you have a great coach, which they do, who coaches up, even if it's not prime-time NBA talent, maybe a couple rotation pieces, kids who stick around 2, 3+ years, they just have an advantage over every team. They can shoot the lights out and then crash the boards when on nights it's not falling. How do you beat these guys?
Look, St. John's, out of all the teams that beat them, St. John's beat them. And I think St. John's did it because it was an off-night shooting. Off-nights do occur. But the reality of the matter is, Max, when you got a guy like Jalen Brunson, now look, Keenan Evans for Texas Tech is around 6'3.5", 6'4", all right? They were running double teams off Jalen Brunson because Jalen Brunson was posting Keenan Evans up. Jalen Brunson's 6'3", right? But he's still a smaller guard. So I think it's the versatility of the pieces that they have. And the beautiful part about this squad is that if one night Jalen Brunson doesn't do it, Dante DiVincenzo comes off the bench, gives you 19 points. If Omari Spellman doesn't do it, Eric Pascal is still making shots from 30+ feet out. They have so many. And by the way, Mikal Bridges will be a top 15 NBA draft pick. He will be a lottery pick. Omari Spellman, his trajectory is like this as far as NBA draft.
He can ball.
So and Jalen Brunson will be a 15-year NBA type guy. He may be a starter inevitably. Who knows? Just with his craftiness and his basketball IQ, his ability to play the game. So they have all the pieces.